Hello and welcome to Designer Discussions with Jason, Maria, and Miriam. Today, Jason is talking to us about the 10 most common video mistakes. Welcome to the Designer Discussions podcast with
Jason,
Maria,
and Miriam. Tune in each week where we talk about marketing, PR, and business advice for design professionals.
So we are super excited to announce that the Marketing Studio is open. We are providing simple and easy to use resources to help keep your marketing, PR, and client communication the best that it can be. Go to designerdiscussions.com/marketing studio to get started.
Thanks, Miriam. This is actually a topic I have in the book that I have, The Complete Guide to Internet Marketing for the Remodeling Industry. And this was a chapter, it's actually chapter 7 of the book, and where we talk about video marketing. And one of the popular graphics we have in there is the 10 most common video marketing mistakes. And that's what I'm talking about today. It all begins with choosing poor image video quality. And that is often where you'll have people say, I want to have the perfect video. And they'll use either an older phone or an older video camera, and then the quality is not just right. For some videos, the image quality or the video quality might not matter. But if you're a designer or a remodeler and you're trying to showcase a remodeled space, you need to have the quality of that space look right, or it will have a reflection on you as a designer or you as a remodeler, because they'll feel that if you're not taking the time to get the quality right, how will you do when you do my own remodeling project? So you just want to make sure that you have a good quality video camera, or you're using a newer phone or newer iPad that has good image quality. Next is not having a defined story. Before you do any project, any type of video project, and this applies to social media posts as well, you need to define what the story is and what the point of the story is. So that way it helps you to not rattle on longer than you have to. So once you know the point, now you don't have to ramble. And then when you do any aspects of it, when you talk about it, whatever, you know exactly what you're talking about. And then you don't have to go long because you're getting to the point of the video. And so that tends to have you have a shorter video, but it's succinct. Where if you have a longer video, if it's a how-to or anything like that, you can have a longer video. But if it's anybody new that does not know your channel, haven't been to, your social media or anything like that, you want to get to the point quickly, because that is the way for them to learn more about what you have to offer than if you rattle on longer. So having a defined story helps with that. Next, if you are targeting the wrong audience, this is, if you hear anything I talk about with marketing, I always talk about knowing who your defined audience is. And this also ties in the Marketing Studio, defining your ideal target audience. Go to that. And then we have a whole workbook on that in the Marketing Studio on how to define your target audience. But knowing who your audience is will help you avoid targeting the wrong audience, because you do not want to make a video thinking it's for millennials, but your real audience is for baby boomers. And so you're going to do the video completely different for one audience than you would for the other. So make sure you're targeting the right audience. Next is what we had talked about. This also ties back into not having a defined story, is if you have a long, boring video. So this often happens when you do not have a defined story. So this ties back into the second one, not having a defined story. Then you just ramble on and on and on, and you don't know what the point of the video is. And on the end user side, they're going to say, what is this all about? You're just talking about lighting. Now you're talking about color. Now you're talking about remodeling. Now you're talking about texture. Now you're talking about flooring. Now you're talking about countertops. You're talking about draperies. Like, what is the point of this video? So having it long and drawn out is not to your benefit. So if you understand what the point is, now you can have a succinct video and you don't have to have it drawn out. And I think Maria has some things to add on to this one.
So just like Jason said, you need to know who you're talking to, and you need to make it succinct, and you need it to apply to them. And one of the simplest things you can do is start your videos with you and talking to them directly. If you start off with, I love this paint color, I love my house, or I like this, you're typically not going to draw on your audience as much as my most requested, my most popular with my, if you're just talking about like, what is your favorite paint color? You can come from it like, clients can't get enough of this paint color. And as you start seeing how much more appealing that communication is, it's just like if you were to write a blog, you wouldn't write that like a journal where it was like, I woke up today and I had a great time and this is what I did this weekend. People want to hear what can apply to them and what knowledge you have that can help benefit them. So just like Jason said, know your audience, don't ramble on, have a point, and, be edutainment, right? If you can.
Exactly. And the next one is not having a clear CTA, or what we call call to action. A lot of times I watch videos and it's a nice video, but at the end, there's no point. So what do you want me to do? A lot of times in marketing, you have to tell people exactly what you want them to do, whether that's sign up for your newsletter, whether that's join this group, whether that's buy my product, whatever that is for you. You want to have a clear call to action that ties back into the point of the video. So whatever the call to action is, it should also tie into what is the defined story and what's the point of the video. Next, there are actually two things here. One is neglecting SEO, making sure that you have all of the description in there when you do a video, whether it's on whatever platform it's on, YouTube, Vimeo, social media. You want to add in a description explaining what the video is about, because a lot of times you may have end users look at the video and look at the description to see even if they want to watch it. Or if they're typing in anything, they want to search for keywords, the description will help your video be found. And that also ties into the captions and the subtitles, because that's something else. Making sure that you have captions and subtitles for your videos, that you have a clear title, you have clear captions in there that actually explain whatever you're talking about. You also have subtitles and captions in there. So if they are hearing impaired and they can't actually hear the video, they can see the subtitles, see what you're actually talking about. And that's something that we've had happen, that had a client do a video and they actually had somebody reach out to them that was hearing impaired and they were not able to hear it, but they read the subtitles and they were able to understand what they were talking about. And so they got a client that way, where most people forget about visually and hearing impaired, but you need to do all of that as well.
So this also applies to short format video. So remember, in running captions is great because if you say the words, it helps with your findability and your SEO. It's how the program understands who you are. Any text you type over your screen is also going to apply to the computer understanding and the algorithm understanding who you are. And then also whatever you write in the caption. So this applies to both longer format video, things you're going to find on YouTube, and your short format video. So make sure you follow through with those rules in any video you're delivering, no matter what the platform.
The next one we talk about is overdoing your sales pitch, being overly salesy. Whatever it is that you're talking about, whether it's remodeling, whether it's design, if you have a 1 minute long video, don't every 10 seconds say, this is why you should buy from me, or this is why I'm the best designer in the world. Having a defined story and sticking to that story helps you avoid being overly salesy. Yes, you should have, like I talked about, have a CTA, have a call to action, but that should be after you provided value. The whole point is to provide value with the video, whatever the video is, whatever the topic is. And once you provide that value, now you can have a CTA, a clear CTA, and that acts as the sales pitch. But the value should come first, then have the CTA. So do not be overly salesy. Next is not using the metrics to track progress. So a lot of the times, if you do a video, whether it's on YouTube or Vimeo or any of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, if you have any videos on those platforms, not checking the analytics to see what's working and what's not. You may plan to do a video series on lighting or on design or on color or whatever it may be. If you're looking at the stats or at the analytics from the first video that you did, you may see there's a point in the video that everybody is really clicking on or they're listening to, or there's an aspect of that that's really attracting their attention. If you haven't already done the whole series, you may want to alter the series to focus on what your audience really likes about it. Or if you have already completed it, you may want to add onto the series the aspects that the audience is really liking. So understanding what the audience like. If you haven't seen the episode where we talk about the importance of analytics, you need to listen back to that episode, because analytics on video is vital. Understanding what they're listening to, what they're liking about the video, what they're clicking on will help you to create more engaging video that will help your end user view you as an expert. And once they view you as an expert, they're more likely to buy from you because now they know, like, and trust you. And then the last one is having too many messages in one video. And so this also ties back into where we talk about having long video that's boring or not having a clear defined message. You do not want to have too many messages in the same video. So if you have a video series on lighting, if you want to talk about color or if you want to talk about drapery or anything else, you may want to highlight that, but then refer to another video that you're going to do on that topic. So you want to have a clear message so that video and that messaging is around that one video. And now the call to action ties into that one video, because if you have too many messages, it's hard to have a CTA or a call to action that ties into multiple messages in the same video. So having one clear message and one clear defined story helps you define the CTA and all of this. And that helps you create videos that your end user really wants to hear and see. Those were the 10 most common video mistakes that we've seen and still happening here today. And again, a lot of this we have in the marketing studio as well, in terms of how to create your ideal client avatar. That'll help you a lot with this as well, because once you have that ideal client avatar, that'll help you create the messaging the right way. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us, and we hope to hear you all in 2 weeks on Designer Discussions.
So we are super excited to announce that the Marketing Studio is open. We are providing simple and easy to use resources to help keep your marketing, PR, and client communication the best that it can be. Go to designerdiscussions.com/marketing studio to get started. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Designer Discussions and all of the helpful information. Subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. We look forward to having you back next week. For more information on the podcast and the Marketing Studio, visit designerdiscussions.com and follow us on social media.